Good Morning Texas Home and Wealth, sponsored by Rodney Anderson with Supreme Lending.
With interest rates remaining low, our mailbag is overflowing. We're going to reach in to see what the viewers have to say this morning. Maybe some questions. We're going to answer them. Our mortgage expert, Rodney Anderson, is here to answer those for us.
Good morning.
All right, we're going to start with Amber from Allen. You ready?
Absolutely.
All right. The first one, she says, my husband and I have owned a home for 6 years. Our first loan is $250,000 at 4.75%. And we have a pool loan for $60,000 at 7%. Is it wise for us to refinance and combine both loans?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that's going on right now is we see a lot of people that have first and second mortgages that are combining the two together. When you're at 4 3/4 on your mortgage rate, you're normally paying a little bit too much. But where they're really paying way too much is on that pool loan. Home values in Allen have really skyrocketed over the last 3 or 4 years. And if you've been in your home, and if you have a first and second and you've had it there for 2 or 3 or 4 years, most likely you can combine the two together, put it into one loan. But I'll share a little secret here.
Okay.
One of the things that you may want to do is look at a 15-year loan or look at a 20-year loan and move up your term. Because the one thing that happens is a lot of people sit in their homes, they're there 5 years, then they refinance backwards to a 30-year only to prolong their mortgage. One of the things I'm a big believer in, move forward on your mortgage, therefore you're cutting time, therefore you're not going backwards. And a lot of people are in this situation. So if you have a first and second, you have the pool loan, get rid of it, refinance it together, and save money.
Good information. I appreciate you gave us a little secret, too. I know that they do also. Our next one is from it's from Richard in Denton. Richard writes, my wife and I we're very frustrated because we have bid on over 20 homes. We can't seem to win. Will the market calm down so we can try again?
Yes. Here's what I would tell you.
Okay.
You may have wrote that to the mailbag a couple weeks ago. Here's what's going on. The market is thawing a little bit. And what we're seeing is people are finally getting under contract. We're not seeing the 18 offers on every house. We're not seeing people overbid anymore. If you were out there looking, ladies and gentlemen, over the last 6 months, go looking now. In fact, one of my employees that lives in Richardson, she said the other day, I told her the market has thawed a little bit. She said, I've recently seen 6 homes come up in my neighborhood. Normally they move in a day to 3 days. All 6 are still on the market after 2 weeks, so go start looking.
Why is that right now?
What happens is we get back to school, faculty goes back to school, teachers go back to school, and everybody, that's their major emphasis during this period of time. And we're seeing a lot of people that have been frustrated now are getting a good opportunity, so don't miss this opportunity.
Their focus is elsewhere and not on the home right now, so you have to hit while the fire's hot, right? That's
when everything slows down a little bit, that's when you go out there, because everybody else is focused on one thing. If you want to go buy a home, go focus now on buying a home. It's a good time.
All right, Richard, we need to act fast, act now. Our next question is from Dean in Waxahachie. He says, I bought a home at 4.5%. I pay $200 a month in PMI. Should I consider refinancing?
Yes. Here's what happens. If you've been in your home for a long period of time, or for 3 or 4 or 5 years, most people can refinance. They may be able to drop their rate a little bit, but more importantly, getting rid of that PMI. You're paying for something that you don't need. Another secret of refinancing is a lot of people think it's going to cost a bunch of money and they got to come out of pocket with money. Most of the time on almost all loans, the closing costs can be rolled in. The most you would have to pay is for an appraisal. So don't let that catch you off guard. Don't let that get you hung up of refinancing. Get in the game, because why pay for something you don't need? That's like me giving you $200 a month every single month and you just collecting it. That's what the mortgage company and the bank's doing on them.
Well, when you put it like that, it's an eye-opener, Rodney. Okay, last letter is from Ken in Arlington. Ken says, we have 3 daughters. Oh, man, I do not envy you. You ready for this? We have 3 daughters very close in age. One is getting married, and the others are close behind. Oh, Dad, that is going to be very pricey for you and all those weddings. We hear you talk about cash-out refinances all the time. Should we cash out to pay for 3 weddings?
Yeah, many people are financing weddings on their credit cards, and the average wedding in the United States right now is $36,000. That's just average. A lot of people are spending $60,000 or more. You got 3 daughters, that thing's costing you between $100,000 to $200,000. We see this happen quite a bit. I had a gentleman the other day, owned his home free and clear, no money he owed on it, worth $500,000, $300,000. He pulled $200,000 out. $150 of it was to pay for weddings and get rid of some debt, and $50,000 was to pay for education for his youngest daughter. So a lot of people look at opportunities. Don't finance weddings. Don't finance student loans or anything on credit, or don't finance college tuition on credit cards. You will never gain, and it will never help you.
Oh, I'm sure you're just like digging your own grave right there with doing that. That is awful. Any other tips you have for us? Is something maybe that a lot of people have come to you asking right now, maybe in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, what we're seeing a lot of people right now is asking how to pay for home improvements.
Okay.
And the reason why I say this, many people have decided to stay in their homes, but their homes are getting dated a little bit. They want new flooring, new kitchens, new pools. And one of the best ways to do that is cash out refinances. So we get a lot of that right now. And I will tell you, there's a wonderful opportunity with rates right now. Rates could go up down the road substantially. Get in the game. It's all about saving money. And the biggest thing I would tell you, the big takeaway today, don't be afraid of picking up the phone and making a call. And you do have to have good to excellent credit in order to get a loan in today's market.
You know, I'm going to piggyback off of that. Don't be afraid to pick up the call and call Rodney also if you have some questions. And don't forget about your amazing radio show that listeners are hearing around the world. So that is something. Here's the number. It's 1-800-EXPRESS, or go to RodneyAnderson.com for all of those answers you might have on mortgage or refinancing.